Hey, Daddy, what is this now? Eh?
Atilepo, Bolaji, Atilepo.
Daddy,
Ikure, come and see generational embarrassment. Daddy went and missionary positioned himself into another man's wife's canal. Yes, so. And now his thing has refused to log out. He's not coming outside. To make it worse, it's one day to his son's wedding. One day.
I think they will die.
Welcome to AJOSEPO, the Nollywood movie that looked us in the eye and said, you want Basbo Sabi? He choke. Family base. Is it a daddy who cannot detach his joystick from someone else's matrimonial tunnel? Let's go there. So we open with this guy, Dakbo, proposing to his babe, Tantolong, Anomo. The proposal sweet, die. Romantic lights, soft scenery. The guy went all out, even brought violinists in. Hey, good. But what finished work was his speech. Maybe the ring too. Tani almost moved to tears, goes, yes. Another day to root for love. But fast forward to the day before the wedding. Normally, we should be discussing guest list, room bookings, Ashwebi color, etc. But no, those ones are not even scratching the surface of the real problem. The main problem is Tani's parents. They are strong Christians. Her mother is even a deaconess. Now that one, his own matter is too serious because his parents are divorced. And if Daddy Gio hears that Teddy wants to marry from a broken home, this is where the fish scatter before this tomorrow. So Dakpo and Tani had begged his divorced parents to pretend to be happily married for just one day, just 24 hours of acting. Surely, two adults can behave, right? You want wine, Jesus? Get off it. So what do you think happened? Let me tell you. Mommy Dakbo, who was supposed to arrive with her ex-husband, showed up alone. Yes, alone. What? With her full squad in matching uniforms like Women's Harvest Choir. Yawa, nobody daddy wa. Where's daddy? She didn't waste any time. That ungrateful goat who said it's like a mosquito larva. Mommy, it's on her down. And she said this in front of Mommy Tanio. Their divorce was messy. And Mommy Dakbo is still very much in pain. Every chance she gets, she curses the man. But when I see that man too, he is something else. Especially around women or anything. As far as it wears his skirt, he wants to sleep with it. And that's exactly what has Mommy Tani worried. And guess what? The wedding is in Ibadan. Well, you see, this man was still in Lagos. After, well, what we call the extracurriculars. With one Carol, she even picked his call to tell Dakbo that he was asleep. Tani was already sweating because she had been telling Dakbo for days, call your father, call your older brother to remind them of the wedding. This man refused. Agidikbo. Now, look at us here. And Mommy Dakbo did not waste the opportunity to egg him on. She calls him useless, just like his father. Nice one, Mama. Finally, Dakbo swallowed his pride and called his brother Jide. Hey God, these two hate each other. I mean, they hate each other. Their friendship is 0/100. Nothing to write home about. Dakbo didn't even send this guy an invite card. He just sent a message, a text message, not even a voice message, or even a call. But Jide, he loves premium drama. He pretended he wouldn't come, stressed Dakbo out a bit, then ended the call like a chairman. Anyway, Jide was on his way to pick up his father. And let me just warn you, if you start listing irresponsible men, you will have to count Baba Jide inside. He is 7 times worse than the average irresponsible man. Because tell me why that man instructed his gate man to pack a whole cooler of alcohol to carry to a Christian household. Hey God, a whole deaconess's house. But that's not even the worst part. Look at Carol, dressed up, with her makeup sharp and her plum packages secured. This man wanted to carry her along to his in-laws' house, as a service machine for the weekend. Jide refused though. It was only after Jide said, if she's going, then I'm not going, that the man finally left Caroline at home. Truth is, Jide didn't even want to come for the wedding. Daddy basically dragged him there because aside the Cold War beef with Dakbo, his relationship with Mommy is even worse. He's scared if he goes, one thing will not happen. And it will be on top his head. Back at Tani's house, Mommy Dakbo was on full patrol mode. I mean, Inspector General level watching out for disrespectful children who didn't even kneel to greet properly. Like Mary over here, Tani's friend. But the main purpose of this stop and search is that she was trying to force Tani to give her and her friends big rooms so they could stay close and gossip. But those rooms were for relatives only. Friends and well-wishers, straight to the hotel. When Tani refused, she shifted to Mommy Tani, and as expected, Mommy Tani said no. You see this matter? You never finish, we will come back. Let's proceed. Finally, Daddy and Jide arrived and went straight to greet their in-laws. Daddy started with, thank you for having us. My wife and I are happy to be here. Daddy entered the pretending role with full energy. Unlike Mommy Dagbo, who came to scatter the ground. He then told Jide to start sharing the drinks from the cooler they brought. But the moment Jide made a move, Daddy Tani stopped him sharply. Don't touch it, reminding them that this is a Christian household. They don't serve that kind of drink here. And who did his father blame for bringing the alcohol? You can already guess. It was Jide. Someone that was shouting earlier that they shouldn't bring it to. That was just episode 1 of Blame Jide. As Mary was taking him to his room, he greeted his mom. She just gave him one side eye and replied, "Morning," from her nose. Next thing, Daddy came in and started accusing Jide of not greeting her properly. Something we literally just saw him do. But Daddy forces him to kneel and to bale properly. Jide lies flat on the floor and does it, only for the woman to start raining curses on his head afterwards. Of course, he rejected it. But let me tell you something. This AMVCA award-winning performance, it's fake. This woman has a PhD in manipulation, emotional abuse, and even pretending. Since Jide was a child, nothing he did pleased her. The slightest thing and she would call him a useless boy, just like his father. And all this over problems that don't even exist. And as it pained him then, it still hurts him now. I mean, why won't it? What makes it worse? Dapo supports his mom so blindly. His relationship with Jide is already shaky, and he prefers it that way. Tani is worried. She needs him to at least talk to Jide so he can help control their parents until after their wedding. You know, before her father finds out that they were actually divorced. Speaking of parents, just come and look at Mommy Dapo again. Tani saw her coming and she did the needful. She ran away. The woman then grabbed Dapo and started drilling him for no reason whatsoever. But children don't fall from the sky. They are products of who raised them. Mommy Dapo, with her shouting and all her wala, raised a submissive, weak mommy's boy. Their father, even though he is a chronic womanizer, still had sense and kindness, and he raised Jide to be better. Although with some strange but surprisingly wise analogies, Daddy explained to Jide why he must not stoop to his mother's level. Not to exchange madness for madness. And because Jide is a good person with a soft heart, he apologized to his dad. Later, Daddy was sitting in a room when he heard one sweet melodic singing. Daddy joins in. Look at Daddy. Daddy can't sing. And then he sees her. Yet, he screamed. But her name is Yetunde. They used to roll up in the sheets together. Back in the day, I trust Daddy. He immediately wanted her to show him old time special right inside his in-laws' house. But Yetunde was doing shakara. Say she's married. And not just married though. She's married to Uncle Frank. Yes, that's Tani's uncle. But has that one stopped Daddy before? As he was trying to rearrange his schedule to fit her in, Nadia Mommy Dapo and her squad catched them. Auntie Eti vanished immediately. Nothing they didn't call Daddy. All sorts of insults. A whole old soldier. They were calling him a 2-minute man. Daddy just looked at them and said, "Okay, I implore all of you to submit yourself for a threesome then." Of course, nobody agreed. Look at this freaky man. Later, Yetunde snuck into his room for a quick one. Really? Daddy was shocked and excited. At the same time, I'm available. Next thing, both of them climbed the bed. Yakata. Let's leave them and go downstairs first. So, Mommy Dapo, after drilling and brainwashing Dapo, she sent this man and he marched straight to Jide's door, demanding, not asking, demanding that Jide open his room so her friends could sleep there. Jide removed his glasses and his blouse. He said, "Okay, try it. Toba bearda. Enter this room, Dapo, I dare you." Dapo was agitated like mad, and the chaos that was about to erupt dragged Tani right into it. But when she realized it was all masterminded by his mother, the babe went full grace mode, especially seeing the disrespect towards Jide. Fed up, Jide was ready to give up the room. But wallahi, Tani refused to let him. Then these aunties started shouting at Dapo, "To be a man, do what your mommy wants." Mary didn't even agree. She cleared all of them, calling them baddest. But the heat never even started. Tani faced Dapo properly when he kept insisting, voice raised, anger boiling, and she basically called him a mommy's boy who could not think for himself. Upstairs, Mommy Tani's mouth opened in shock. Immediately Tani shouted, "Dapo, get these people out of here right now. Mommy Tani summoned her upstairs. But you see these women? Shame didn't allow them stay in that house again as they left for their hotel. Mommy Dapo turned the insults towards her own son, plus their in-laws, calling them a bunch of poor people. And all this drama had spectators. Even Tani heard all of it. But guess who Dapo blamed for everything? Jide. But Jide was sorry. He could not follow me because it didn't end there. Mommy Dapo didn't allow the poor boy to stay sad for long. She came to make it worse. I said everyone should get out. He yelled at his friends, then went back to dragging and insulting him. And Tani too, going on about how he couldn't even control his wife. The poor boy was too weak to stand up for himself, let alone defend his wife. But you know who was finally tired of his mother's charades? Jide. My guy walked in and put a stop to it. He went energy for energy, bass for boss. To hell with what his father told him earlier. Oh boy, now your mama, she stood to hit him, but he was ready. Hit me now, since that's all you do. He did. He called her out for all her manipulations, for projecting her failed marriage onto everyone, reminding her that Tani wasn't his father and Dapo wasn't her. He scolded her, even asking if she was such a marriage expert, why she hadn't remarried. This woman began to cry before he even dropped the punchline. But Dapo jumped in, asking him to stop. Because, at the end of the day, she's their mother, right? Ironic, isn't it? The same mother who mistreated him so much, he ran away, and she never called him, not once. Her excuse? But you left. It was you that left us. It actually broke her heart when he left to stay with his father. And now, he does leave again, as she called after him. Chai, Mama came with friends in matching uniform, but ended up being the only one who got scolded heavily. Now, let's check upstairs. How quick was our quickie? Eating has entered 1 hour with no signs of stopping. Daddy is giving everlasting marathon. But Yetunde don't tire. She begged him to come off before Uncle Frank starts looking for her. Nah, dear Ganganga, Kasala burst. Daddy couldn't even detach. Daddy pulled. She pushed. They tussled. They twisted. They turned. Every style, and nothing worked. His thing was still inside her like a magnet. And at the same time, Mommy Tani was giving Tani serious advice. The way you are talking to Dapo, it's not good. A good wife guides her husband. She doesn't antagonize him. She urged Tani to apologize. And the sorry Tani, of course, agreed. Meanwhile, Jide was resting a bit after winning the battle with his mother, only to get a shocking call from his father that there was a war in his room. And boy, when he got there, Daddy and Yetunde were already in full standing missionary from behind position. Yetunde was covering her face, trying not to be recognized by Jide. Oh God, Jide was frozen. He stepped closer. Don't touch it like that, Daddy shouted. Jide quickly realized that this was Magu, a curse, and with their in-law's wife. For crying out loud, he left the room in frustration, only to be startled from behind by James, Dapo's friend. Now you are here. See, just go and call Dapo and tell him there's an emergency, Jide said, without telling him the full story. When Dapo arrived, he was already losing it. What have you done this time? He shouted, assuming Jide caused whatever the problem was. And after a long and frustrating effort, Dapo finally went in to see what was happening. He almost went crazy. He stomped out in anger. Jide, being the grown one, explained it. It was Magu, most likely placed by Uncle Frank on his wife. They needed Tani's help to talk to Uncle Frank to remove it, but Dapo refused, not wanting to involve her, which you can understand. That meant they would need the Babalawo. But Dapo, he wasn't listening to Jide and wasn't about to start now, even though his dad was at risk of showing some foul-like behavior that would eventually have him somersaulted and then maybe die. Dapo gets a bright idea. He brings James in, who is a pediatrician. I repeat, a children's doctor for Magu remover. Haba. Jide was tired of all this nonsense. They were running out of time. So he went to fetch Tani himself. At least, she's a gynecologist. She knows everything about a woman's down below. Dapo had no choice but to fill her in. But he didn't mention who his father was stuck with. And Tani's face said it all. That fear she always had about Daddy acting out. For secrecy, Jide refused to involve Mary. But this auntie didn't rest though. See, auntie, you have to now rest that rest because not be everything you're supposed to know. Now seeing Yetunde, Tani lost it completely. Like bro, this is her uncle's wife. All this nonsense in her father's house. And on the eve of her wedding, Auntie Yeti began shouting and begging. But she shouted, Auntie Yetunde, shut up. Hey. See, They needed to sort it out, but nobody was listening to Jide about getting a babalawo. Instead, everyone wanted to pull them apart, like it was some sort of tug of war. They wanted to do it bread and butter style. Just look at these people. Then they finally filled Mary in, because the more, the merrier. But the tug of war wasn't working. Daddy was shouting in pains. Hey, everywhere. The plan was failing. Daddy's rockets needed to be deflated before a perfect landing could occur. Mary suggested the hospital, but that would make everyone find out. So they decided to bring the hospital to them discreetly. But look at the Ogbonu nurses they called. They came with ambulance, sirens, even in their uniforms. The whole drama. Talk about discreet. What don't you understand about the word? Discreet. And then this our uncle stopped them. Next day, Mommy Tani came and Mary dropped a bunch of lies. Something about the girls needing the nurses for a photo shoot. And with that, they finally let them through. Now, you see this particular nurse. Her mouth no good at all. She refused to touch Auntie today, or Daddy on the other hand. To see what the whole friction was all about, she just gave Daddy paracetamol for the pain. But on the brighter side, she agreed that this was a Magun curse.
I think they will die.
Not so she. Shut up and do your work, Joe. But of course, meds could not do anything. And bread and butter pool, just forget it. The truth is, they needed the person who placed this curse to remove it. Yes, they needed Uncle Frank. And hesitantly, Tani dragged him from a meeting with her dad. He didn't know how to tell him that his strap actually caught some meat. When she finally did, boy, come and see the anger. See this? Uncle Frank was screaming at his wife for embarrassing him in his sister's house. And Yetunde, he shot back, not just because he laced her with the magun, but also because they got married. And since then, he hasn't done the kiriwa with her. Sure, a lot of it was because she cheats with every Tom, Dick or Harry. But the main wahala, Uncle Frank's Johnny boy. Should we call it scanty now, or maybe they grow. When I say erector, you say dysfunction. Erector. Tani and Dakbo got on their knees, begging the man to remove the curse for their wedding the next day. Dakbo even suggested, see, because it's this man, maybe you can even put it back after the wedding. Shut up, Joe. Jide snapped. Maybe he should, because Yetunde kept running her mouth and he almost walked out. Don't let him go. Uncle, Uncle Ejo. He begged him not to go. He finally listened, pulling something from his pocket and started making incantations. But it wasn't working. Uncle, what do you mean you've forgotten the incantations? Even worse, he couldn't remember the name of the babalawo who placed the curse. And guess who might remember? Yes, Mommy Tani. Wait, Deaconess Lady Evangelist. Our Christian household mommy. Yeah, and it was her idea that the curse was placed on Yetunde. So he went to fetch her, letting her know that their trap worked. He shouted, Emimimo! Jesus! But Mommy Tani, of course, she refused to take credit. She put it all on Uncle Frank, saying he suspected his wife of cheating and wanted to catch her red-handed. And you know Mama now, she helped him. Tani was shocked at what was coming out of her mother's mouth. She didn't suggest divorce or even counseling. Straight to Magun. Mommy, you know safe. Mama just shrugged and said, it's my first time. Uncle Frank tried to remind her of a previous one, but she shut him down. You can see that our mommy is an evangelical liar. Anyway, up until this point, it's just Mommy Dakbo and Daddy Tani who didn't know about all this mess, and they planned to keep it that way. And when she saw Yetunde, she lost it. Chai. Tani couldn't hold back her tears, because this is the night before what is supposed to be her happiest day. After all the shouting and the fussing, Mommy Tani gave the babalawo's name and location. Uncle Frank, Dakbo, and Jide rushed to fetch him with a change of clothes in a bag. Meanwhile, in the car, Dakbo finally admitted that Jide was right about the Magun curse. Their conversation went deeper as old wounds resurfaced. Dakbo had always resented Jide for leaving him and their mom, and Jide explained that he never abandoned them. He left their abusive mother to find their father, seeking the truth while their mother tried to turn them against him. Jide was so convinced that their father was enjoying life. When Mama asked how he knew, he replied, well, he had lived with you, and anyone not living with you must be enjoying their lives. Iwomodi, Ubaje, she shouted, beating him and calling him useless like his father. When young Dakbo came in, she twisted the story, claiming that it was Jide who tried to hit her. Dakbo blindly took her side, and Jide told him that he would realize that their mother was the problem. But Dakbo still hasn't seen it. Even as she has grown older, she had brainwashed him into believing that their father had abandoned them, when in fact, she was the one who left and decided to divorce him. Dakbo didn't know how much she had made Jide's life miserable, or that he too had suffered and was a victim under her. His grudge stems from thinking Jide, as the older brother, never came back to protect him that Jide had. And he made Dakpo see how well he had managed without him. He was the one getting married, while Jide, the so-called elder brother, was still single. The brothers began understanding each other better, and Dakpo urged Jide to forgive their mom, as he had their dad. Jide replied that their father didn't need forgiveness. Despite his flaws, he remained kind, never spoke ill of their mother, and always supported them, paying school fees, providing food, and even sending money to their mom for Dakpo's wedding. Yet, their mother never told him not one bit of it, not one. You did doubt. I said Jide had receipts, and Dakpo was shocked because mommy didn't even give him shishi, not one kobo, even when she knew he sold his car to her for just the wedding ring. He was truly sorry to Jide, and Jide comforted him. Meanwhile, back at home, Reverend Tanimo, brought by Tani's parents to do final prayers before the big day, was just rounding up when Uncle Frank and the boys arrived with the Babalawo, disguised as a reverend. But the problem is, English was hard for our Babalawo to speak. Now small thing remain, Reverend Tanimo would have caught him, but it was the Babalawo's apprentice who almost blew the cover when he told Baba that he brought the eggs intended for the cleansing. The Babalawo began to go off script. Tani and Mommy had to step in, reminding her father he had somewhere to be and was running late, and that eventually worked. With them gone, the cleansing ritual could begin proper. The Babalawo looked at the disgraceful fellows and started his incantations. He asked where they committed their atrocities. They pointed, and he spoke the incantations while breaking eggs in each spot. They pointed to too many places. Even the couch. Daddy Jide, at your old age, I don't even want to think about the positions, honestly. I will throw up. By the time he got to the wall, it was the last place. Papa's eggs had finished. The wall, Bitibao, finally. The man placed his hands on them, said the final incantations, and Daddy Dagbostin finally softened and slipped out. Quickly, a disgraced Yetunde sprung out. Oniro Shi, Asheo, Omitani cursed after her. Uncle Frank couldn't even contain his shame. But to see that relief, it washed over everyone, especially Tani and Dakpo. So now later, Daddy Dakpo decides to say sorry to his sons. But of course, the man nobody take any accountability. He's like, I was on my own now. When free food come, do you want me to say no to free food? Let me eat. Daddy, this is your apology. It's not entering. Try another one. And wait for this. He even promised he wouldn't do any extracurricular activities. For guess how long? He said 12 hours. Anyway, Dakpo also throws in an apology for his attitudes towards him, without even knowing the full drama with their mom. But you see, the apology train didn't stop. Tani and Dakpo now apologized to her daddy for lying about Dakpo's parents' divorce saga. And guess what? Daddy Tani already knew about it. He was just waiting for them to do the right thing. He was grateful they did in the end, and he advised them, blessed them, before finally praying for them. He also told Dakpo to cherish his parents, irrespective of their status, because they'd sacrificed everything to be present for him. Fast forward to the wedding day. But of course, it can't start without a proper family reconciliation. Dakpo and Tani thanked Jide for everything he did the day before. The boys squash all the beef, hug it out, and finally reconcile. And now, the wedding proper. See vibes. The hall is lit, dancing everywhere. Mama Tani showing moves that could go viral. Auntie Yeti absolutely killing the vibe. The shape came with her. It's just smelling everywhere. Look at And Daddy Dakpo. This man is at it again. The bride's parents first pray for the groom and his friends, including Jide, who now supports him all the way. And before we get to the promises, we get a quick flashback to the night before. Tani had actually taken her mother's advice, went on her knees and apologized to Dakpo, promising total and absolute submission. But Dakpo went down too, promised to always love her, and begged her never to stop telling him the truth, regardless of his feelings, and she agreed. The couple was joined as husband and wife, and the love in the room was choking. But after the I do, now straight to Dorime, serious dancing and money spraying everywhere. The highlight was Daddy Dakpo spraying Mommy Dakpo bundles of cash, seeing Mommy Dakpo forming, while aggressively packing the money and smirking low-key. Even Uncle Frank eventually softened up and started forgiving his wife. And just before the credits rolled, Jide pulled the ultimate move. He grabbed the mic and dedicated a performance to his brother, bringing out actual LAX. Omo, see party. No frowning faces allowed. Even Mommy Tani and Adeoye settled their quarrel on the dance floor. It all ended in love and vibes, exactly how we love it. And with that, we've reached the end of AJOSEPO, a movie directed by Kayode Kasum, now streaming on Eboli Life on Plus. And that's a wrap for today's video. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments, like, subscribe, and stay tuned so you never miss a worthy recap. And until next time on Worthy of Recap.